That's right. Another day. Another day. Let's get this boot camp going. Right? So in case you didn't know, I'm doing hold on one second. Yeah. Another day. Another day. Let's get this boot camp going. Alright? So in case y'all don't know, I'm doing this like as much as I can, 5 days a week minimum. Um boot camp, YouTube style. All it is the plan is to do at least minimum one live per day, as close to as 1 hour as possible. Don't think that's gonna be a big possibility. However, we gonna get there. We gonna get there. All right. Along with the lives, where the plan is also to see if we can do what's that thing called? Oh, videos consistently, minimum three, at least three. If I can do one live a day, 3 videos, that should be good for you guys. That's not a guarantee, but we're gonna bootstrap it out and try to move forward. Yeah, so that's basically what's going on as far as like YouTube bootcamp. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get it going. So I have a lineup for you guys, and also I'm gonna make a shirt. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I gotta get it printed out, and then we're gonna start the process of making a shirt. As usual, like, subscribe. Remember, this is Levi Apparel. So we don't typically do news, right? Before, currently, we're trying to. The focus is what's going on, to stay in tune with what's going on. On top of that, what are the topics that's being talked about? Then we go back to our regularly scheduled program talking about t-shirts. I'll be repeating this throughout, but hey, it is what it is. All right, let's get started. Let's get started. So for today, oh, also when you see me looking down, it's not like, I don't want to see you, I'm looking down. It's because my setup, my setup, right? So that's my cup. All right, right here, right here. That's my second screen. There's my what's that thing called? Laptop. Right. There's the light I have. Um, Microphone. You're used to that. And yeah, and my background. All right. So now that you're acquainted with what I'm doing and what's going on, I have to look down at the monitor to see exactly how to like do the whole, switching camera. Well, at this point, I have a second camera right there, but I'm not using it because switching from camera to camera for some reason is weird, and getting the second camera on for some reason it's just giving me issues. So currently we're just operating with one. We do have two, but we're operating with one until we can configure the two. Most likely, I'm probably gonna use um, this system that I have just waiting there. I'm doing a couple more classes on it, and then after that, I'll be able to roll it out. But for now, we're just gonna focus on that. So, all right, cool. Like, subscribe, Levi Apparel. Now you know what's going on, right? Eventually, I have another room in this office. I may, chances are, I may go to it and do more lives over there because it's a little bit more. I mean, unless you like the background. If you like the background, then I'll keep it like that. But if you don't, then and you don't mind, then I'll go to the other room. I'm thinking about being in the other room to do more like when I'm doing the add-on to the videos and I'm talking, and then it is what it is. All right, let's get started. Let's get started. Let's get started. As you are watching the video, I'm gonna be sending some stuff to some friends. You know what? Maybe I should do that right now. All right, that's good enough. All right, let this charge and all right, cool, cool, cool. So we back, we back, we back. All right. So, got this being recorded. Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right. So before we begin, so this is the first one you're gonna get is basically Kamala Harris, and I don't know. Let's give her an applause as the first female vice president. You know, she did it. She did it. She did it. All right. Gotta give her kudos. Now, now, here's what I think about her, and her running again. My opinion is this. You know what? You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait. Let's watch the next video. Let me roll that beautiful beam footage, get it going for you, and then we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'll give you my opinion afterwards. After this scheduled broadcasting. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. What's going on over here? What's going on over here? OBS currently active. All streams recording will be shut down. Are you sure you want to exit? No. Why is all stream recorded? That's weird. Alright. Alright, here we go. 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 Alright, let me put this like that. Alright, so when I'm ready, pin out and go back. But let's go. Kamala Harris. Is she running for 2026? Governor? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But let's get it going.
Has a bombshell announcement she will not run for California governor next year.
Whoa, big surprise. Big surprise. I wonder why that is.
Less than a year after she lost the 2024 election to Donald Trump, Harris's decision has already led to the inevitable speculation that this means that she will run again for president in 2028. In a statement explaining her...
Wait, what? Why?
...decision, Harris says this, quote, "For now, my leadership and public service will not be in elected office. I look forward to getting back out and listening to the American people, helping elect Democrats across the nation who will fight fearlessly and sharing more details in the months ahead about my own plans." All right.
You know, I'm going to say something. I'm actually glad she didn't run for governor. Because that was already played out. You remember Hillary Clinton ran for first lady. She didn't get it. And then she ended up running for governor. Or was it before? Either way, she was a governor. She went from being first lady to governor, then ran for presidency, didn't make it, tried multiple times, didn't make it. She can set the playing field and change it. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a governor, but she had a prestigious high role. If I was her, I'd just stick to either chilling out or trying to run for president again. That's what I would do. But I wouldn't do it during the 2028. I'd wait a little bit while things cool down. The past is already like washing away a little bit. And then I would run. Right? Because at least by then Biden won't be forgotten, but he'll more be like, in a way, immortalized as a a past president, right? That's just chilling, right? He'll be a president that's maybe in retirement, relaxing himself. Doesn't have to worry about the past scrutinies that he faced before, because you have Biden, you'll have Biden, you'll have Trump, whoever else that's currently running, and then towards the middle um of that year of that person running after Trump, then I would announce myself as, maybe a future president or whatever, and get things going. That way things kind of cool down. Some things are forgotten. You know what I mean? Although past doesn't, past will always be there and you can always go back to it. However, what that means is she at least has a chance of coming back a little bit cleaner. Maybe she fix her image, get a little bit more into the environment of the community that she's in, to find out what they want toward the U.S., see what they want, and then eventually run again. Now she has an idea, a perspective of what she wants to do for the people, as opposed to running immediately right away. Because to tell you the truth, when she runs, whoever is running against her is going to be will be asking her some tough questions, and those questions will involve the fact that during the time of Biden, since he was in his state after Trump became president, it was announced that he was in a state where some felt like he wasn't really there, according to sources on the media. So she could avoid that question of, well, what were you doing that whole time? And eventually just push her way out and make a name for herself by not trying to entangle herself with a situation where she's being asked too many questions. I would wait after 2028, then run. I mean, that's the best scenario. However, if it may be that she runs, who knows what may happen. But I do understand that there may be questions that she will be facing of, the past presidency where she was a vice president of.
Our panel is here in the arena. CNN political director and our Washington bureau chief, David Chalian, CNN political commentator Jonah Goldberg, Democratic strategist, former senior advisor for the Harris campaign, Adrian Elrod, and CNN political commentator, Republican strategist, Brad Todd. Welcome to all of you. Thank you very much for being here. David Chalian, I spoke to one person close to Harris who insists this is just a decision about 2026. It's not a decision about 2028, and yet.
Well, and yet, as you said, speculation. Listen, I think that is true. The for now in her statement is doing a lot of work to fueling the speculation about 28. But Casey, I mean, just a totally different assessment politically of looking at getting into a gubernatorial race where a lot of the polling had her as a dominant force if she were to get into the race. No sure thing to victory, obviously, in 26 versus what may be an extraordinarily crowded race in 28 that is far off yet, and that I don't think she will have any ability to sort of clear in any way for herself in 28. So I do take the advisor that you talked to and others I've spoken to at their word that this is not a decision about 28. Obviously, she's doing everything she can to preserve her options, and we're going to see a lot more of her in the next 18 months than we've seen in the last 6 months. There's no doubt about that. But I don't read this as automatically she thinks she's going to jump into the 28 presidential race.
Adrian Elrod, what do you think?
Look, I think her statement speaks for itself. This is a woman who has served Californians as San Francisco DA, as Attorney General, obviously as in the United States Senate, and as Vice President of the United States for the entire nation. I think she wants to take a step back, really focus on, how can she help the American people? How can she be a part of, pushing back against some of Trump's dangerous and divisive policies without having this transactional relationship with voters, which is exactly what she made clear in her statement, that she wants to be able to go out there and fight for people without having to go through the slog of running for office, she deserves to have a little bit of space here in this moment to, not always be running for office, not always be in elected office, but also making sure that she can be a viable force in the Democratic Party and a very important voice. And I'm also confident that if she had run for governor of California, she would have won that race. But she certainly, of course, has made it clear that she wants to keep her options open.
But in keeping her options open, there's no guarantee. In fact, there's really no way. You must have to acknowledge that she would start at the top of the heap in a 2028 primary.
Well, I think she's making it clear that she's not focused on 2028 right now. She's focused on 2026. Obviously, we've got some off-year elections in Virginia and New Jersey coming up that I'm sure she will weigh in on and be a part of a big surrogate in those races, too. She's focused on making sure that Democrats can get a little bit of power back at the federal level, and I think that is where her focus will be, and we'll see what happens after the midterms.
Jonah Glover, are you surprised by this decision?
No. I think it makes a lot of sense on her terms. Democratic Party is more unpopular than it has been in something like 30 years, and I think it makes a lot of sense if she wants to run again for president, not to be in the public eye for a while, because
He's lying. The Democratic Party right now, there's a lot of things going on that a lot of people are leaving. Most of the people that are there are basically the diehard Democrats. Some of the people are switching parties because they want to see change. Others are looking forward towards like maybe another party. So currently, right now, the Democratic Party needs some major overhaul, a change in like what their ideals are and what they're going to do for the American people. Because, like, the people that I've seen, like, okay, take immigration for example. You have a lot of people that were getting aid. Meanwhile, you had people that was basically homeless in California. So these are the type of questions that they're probably gonna be asking her, like, hey, you're giving all this aid to foreign, people coming in, but what about the people that were there that weren't getting any aid? You had the homelessness that was like rampant in California, to a point where like there were camps that was set up. There was like some people were finding like a lot of horrific things going on, and it was, and then also you had like the crime rate of what was going on, and she's from that area, so people were expecting a lot of change to happen, you know, and that didn't happen. As the Democrats were ruling, there was a lot of things that were going on that was just a little bit suspect, because people that were there weren't getting what they needed. Meanwhile, you strangers was basically coming in and getting all the resources. That's not to say they're not supposed to get it. There's people that do need it that should have it, but at the same time, open that arm to the Americans that were or are currently there. And that was a lot of the issues that allowed this Republican Party to just come in and take over, because they were saying, hey, we'll give you the resources that's due to you. And then basically everybody took that and ran with it. And from there was other stuff added that it eventually made her lose. That's in my opinion. That made her lose her ability to win the elections. Basically, some people felt, based on the media, felt that she was kind of out of touch with the regular American, and that right there says it all. That the Democrat Party needs a rehaul to just focus, take time, study what's going on, learn the people, learn the community, and then just get itself together. And then, if she wants to run, let her run, but at least have her tour the country and have an idea of what the people want.
we have not experienced any big surge of Biden era nostalgia. There's still a lot of hard feelings out there. And frankly, if I were her, I would take a bunch of board seats and not think about running again.
See, he said it. He said, I told you. Come on. He knows it. He just, because he's on CNN, he's taking his time to say things. and he has to be very careful with his words. But hey, we said it.
Not ever, then certainly not in 2028 either. But
board seats can help.
Again, told you. He's literally saying, it's not that he doesn't want her to run. She should run because she's an American. That's her God-given right as an American to be able to run for whatever office that she's allowed to run for, right? But let things die down a little bit, cool down a little bit. Let the people rally around whoever's the next supposed president. And if it happens to be another Republican, guess what? Now she can work even harder. Stay in the background, focus on the people, learn the community, learn the country, learn who she is, and focus on herself, on building a how can I say it? Building herself to understand properly how to relate to the people without appearing or looking fake, in other words, right? When Obama came into the limelight, like, everybody likes him because he's charismatic, he's pretty much himself, and he's able to let's just
The political
for sure, but like I would just sort of cash in and get out of politics if I were her.
This is a 2028 move. The California Democratic Party is a bowl full of Fruit Loops. And to be the leader of California as a Democrat, she will have to become the Fruit Loop she really wants to be, as we saw in 2019. And so if she wants to...
See, he said it also. How she can learn to be herself by being herself and figure out how she can project herself to the public to, hey, this is me. You know me as, like this and that. Here I am. Here's a better version of me that understand you now, but I'm always gonna be me and behave and act this way, quirky jokes or whatever. And then run with it. Now she has the confidence to run as herself and not as, like, what they're projecting on her to try to do, in other words, or be.
Run in 2028, she's got to get further from her Fruit Loop past, and she can't do that if she's.
I have a slight disagreement with that. I mean, I agree with you about California being a bowl of Fruit Loops, but who can deny that? But like as Rahm Emanuel, you need the way the Democrats are going to get back into power is by calling out Fruit Loops, is by doing some sort of sister soldier stuff. Much fewer opportunities to sort of say, I'm not the Democrat you think I am. Right. And run against the brand if she doesn't hold another office.
Well, so the thing is, and David Chalian, and the heart of the challenge that it seemed to me, Kamala Harris was this incredibly fast rising star, right? Out of California, she comes to the Senate. It's immediately clear that she's here to run for higher office, right? She's reaching out to reporters like us, right? It's very obvious. And then she struggles in public to identify what kind of Democrat she is, right? Is she going to run on the left the way that she did in the primary when she was a candidate herself, or is she
where she did not even make it to the voting, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. She drops out before that even happens, after what people thought was a strong kickoff rally. But then, and I want to play this moment that sort of crystallized, I think, for a lot of people, the struggle that she had. Obviously, she had a very compressed timeline to try to win the election. No one's taking that away from her. But she was asked why she would be different from the president that she had been serving when she did this appearance on The View. And here's how she answered that question. Watch.
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
I mean, is she at the point where she really knows who she is, Jonah Goldberg?
I don't think so.
There it is. I'm going to leave it right here. You guys can watch the rest. That's on CNN. There's a lot that was said afterwards, so go check it out. Links on the description. All right. Let's go. Okay. All right. So now you had my take on it, and she basically confirmed everything that I said. Everything. Um, yeah. So that was that. That was that. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Ooh wee. Come on, baby. All right, all right, all right. Now we're gonna talk about some immigration. Immigration. All right, this one. Links on the description as usual. Links on the description as usual.
Survive by knowing exactly what their voters want. They study polls, they watch the news, they listen to supporters. So the elephant in the room is this. How did America's political leaders veer so dramatically off track, essentially handing Donald Trump a lifeline back into the White House? Hey, I'm Ken LaCourte. This isn't a partisan take on immigration or even politics, but an understanding of how that crazy situation came about. Because only by looking fairly at uncomfortable truths can we actually learn from them. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how the history of illegal immigration set this stage, how Trump's first term shifted the landscape, and how Biden's overreach turned the issue into a political boomerang. Okay, so America's immigration debate obviously didn't start with Biden or Trump. For the last few decades, both political parties have danced around illegal immigration, each looking for opportunity and each afraid of getting burned by voter backlash. Both parties had mixed motives. On the Republican side, many leaders feared the racist label if they pushed hard for border crackdown. They also got subtle pressure from corporate donors who wanted cheap labor. I mean, a lot of businesses, agriculture, construction, service industries, they benefit from a steady flow of workers who will work for lower wages. On the other side, Democrats had their own balancing act. Latinos were an essential part of their political base, and so they feared an immigration crackdown would cost them votes. But many Democratic voters, especially union and working class Americans, they didn't want lenient policies that brought people into the country who would essentially lower their own wages. Historically, both parties saw how the balancing act blew up in the face of a Republican governor back in the 90s. Pete Wilson of California rode to re-election with a landslide by supporting Prop 187. It was a ballot measure denying state services to illegal immigrants. Voters loved it too. It passed by nearly 60%. And for Republicans, it was a huge win. At least for a little bit, because it quickly backfired big time. Prop 187 became a rallying cry for California's Latino community, who saw it as an attack on them. And soon, hundreds of thousands of Latinos registered.
Now, keep in mind, this is way back then. As a matter of fact, I think he's gonna say it. Way back then, California was basically Republicans. It was a Republican state. Eventually, it changed and became a Democratic state. But that's all because of immigration. So the Democrats back then figured out that immigration was key to their success, because if you have immigration, you have a people that's in need and is able to give aid to them and allow them to grow and become, because as you are coming to this country, once you have legal status and you're able to be a citizen, the next thing you're obligated to do is basically vote. So most people tend to vote for parties that favored them in the beginning when they started coming here to the US. So it's not on their fault. This is what they've known. This is the party that's helped them. So typically people tend to go more towards Democrat because of favorable ability for them to be here a little bit longer, right? And eventually you get that road towards citizenship. That's if they actually put in the work, the paperwork, the funds needed, and actually go through that whole process.
To vote, nearly all of them Democrat. And the result? Within a few years, the reliably red state of California, and it actually was back then, it turned permanently blue. Republicans never recovered, and today California is basically a one
See? He just said it. He just said it. Told you. Told you. Told you. I told you.
Party state. Wilson's name became a cautionary tale for Republicans nationwide. Tough immigration policies might win short term, but the long-term fallout could be tough. Now you fast forward to Barack Obama. He smartly wanted to both look tough on illegal immigration, yet not anger his Latino base. He earned the nickname Deporter-in-Chief for deporting 3 million illegal immigrants, more than any other president, but Latino activists knew that really wasn't the case. And that's because a lot of
Whoa. Damn, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Some say even more than most presidents combined. Wow. But a lot of people don't know that. They think majority of people that was being deported was predominantly from actual Republicans. But in the background, Democrats were deporting too. It's both sides that were deporting, and it's both sides that's doing their thing.
of those record deportations were actually a statistical sleight of hand. Under earlier administrations, people just turned away at the border weren't usually counted as deportations. Obama's team decided to count turnarounds as formal removals, and that gave a much inflated deportation figure. That tough on immigration stance allowed Obama to introduce.
You see how they did that play on word? Tough removal instead of immigration?
DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. It was an executive order he did that allowed nearly 1 million young people who were brought to America illegally as little kids, that let them stay, work, study without fear of deportation. Politically, this two-step was pretty smart. It allowed Obama to look tough on immigration publicly while still scoring points with immigrant communities and progressive voters. Still, that tough on immigration stance allowed Obama to introduce DACA, the Deferred.
Ooh, that's my president right there. That's my guy. Crazy. Ooh, I don't care what anybody says, man. That's my guy. Yo, that was the first time I voted, and man, wow, it was like, it's one of those moments you're proud to be a citizen, and then just be able to be on the ballot and just being able to, swipe whatever on the ballot. And I prefer to do more local, people who are local, closer to me, this and that. I like to focus more on local elections, because I feel like, in a way, the local elections are just as important as the major elections, because these are people that's making laws that's affecting you currently. Also, most of those local elections are people that are going to be on the electoral college. So, pick wisely, right? Eventually, things kind of shifted for me. I'm not going to say who, but it kind of shifted for me. But it's my first guy.
Action. In 2015, in large part because he wasn't cautious at all about immigration. As Republican leaders tiptoed around border control, Trump took a super different approach. He was inspired partly by Ann Coulter's book, Adios America, and he went all in from the very moment he descended on the escalator coming down to announce his presidency. His quote saying that Mexico was...
Let's give an applause also, man. This guy. Woo, man. Other guy, not saying what.
Wasn't sending their best. They were sending criminals and rapists.
They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. And some, I assume, are good people.
It wasn't polite. It wasn't nuanced.
Wasn't ready for that one. Whoa. Sir. Wow.
But it resonated with millions of voters who they believed that politicians had for decades just ignored a growing problem. That hardcore immigration stance completely set him apart from nearly every GOP candidate. Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, others, they warned that the harsh rhetoric would alienate Hispanic voters. But Trump didn't listen, and he doubled down, promising a big, beautiful wall along the southern border. I mean, the idea was mocked relentlessly by the media, who couldn't stop talking about it, and Trump. And look, I worked in the news during that campaign, and I saw it, and it was pretty clear that it was the single most important issue that separated him from the other Republicans and helped him win that nomination. When he won and he started to implement some of his policies, the backlash was immediate, it was intense. Most of the media hated him to begin with, and they painted his immigration policies as cruel and inhumane. Kids in cages, migrants supposedly being whipped, crying politicians and celebrities at the Mexican border.
Okay, here's a little thing. The kids in cages, that was started way before his election. So this guy, he needs to get his stuff on point.
They flooded television screens and dominated headlines. And look, I could get into the accuracy and the fairness of that coverage, but that's not the point here. The point was that it was effective. Not with Trump's core voters, but with many moderates, and they're the ones who often swing elections. And more importantly, Democrats believed those optics alone would help crush Trump politically. They looked at polls, often influenced by how the questions were framed and often commissioned by advocacy groups, and those polls reinforced that same assumption, making Democrats confident that Trump's stance was politically suicidal. But while a lot of Americans didn't like the concept of child separations, they still supported stricter enforcement overall. The numbers were still driven more by Republicans, but by the end of Trump's presidency, 80% of Democrats wanted more, not fewer, resources to go police the border. But by that time, the major Democratic candidates were going all in on the other way. None supported building a physical barrier, and instead their policies were more about pathways for citizenship, or decriminalizing border crossing, softening the force at the border, and offering illegal immigrants more services, not fewer. All of these beliefs, and some miscalculations by the Democratic leadership, set the stage for the Biden administration. And it might not have hurt them as badly as it did, except for one man whose name isn't Donald Trump. I'll explain that in just a second. First, though, let me talk just a bit about the politics of illegal immigration, specifically among that Democratic leadership. Now, I'll keep this part short because it's an important part of the equation, but it's in the realm of things that I can't document with a poll or a statistic. Okay, so politicians often lie, and many times it's in ways that no one can prove. I mean, when one stands up and says, "I have deep love for the Albanian American community," I mean, it's tough to know if that's real or if there's a political calculation to something like that. And even when I have strong suspicions, I can't read minds. But it's fair to ask, what's really behind those who want to open up the border? I discussed the concept of trying to signal support for Latino Americans, something that's routinely and publicly stated. Now, that bet worked pretty well for a long time, until it didn't. But are there more underlying reasons to want more undocumented immigration? Well, many Democrats would say there's an obvious reason: compassion. I mean, we are a nation of immigrants, and even the most jaded person would look at some kid living just a few miles south of the United States in a one-room house with dirt floors and see something that's just cosmically unfair about that. And usually, that compassion didn't have a political cost. Declaring your Vermont town to be a sanctuary city, that sounds great on campaign ads, and there's little downside, especially in far-flung cities. After all, half of the nation's illegal immigrants live in the 4 border states: California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. But we also can't deny a strategic calculation Democrats have banked on for decades. Immigrants and their kids tend to vote Democratic. So if you look...
All right, cool. So there's more to his channel. Gotta stop right there. Don't want to play too much. But yeah, go check him out. Links on the description. And hold on one second. Let's give an applause. That was great. Great stuff. So I'm going to do a whatchamacallit. What time is it? Alright, 20. Perfect. I got 20 minutes to get myself ready. Alright. So, I'm gonna do a shirt that's gonna feature what's that thing called? ET Phone Home with immigration for this title. Alright, let's get that ready. But first, let's watch the next video. Again, like, subscribe if you're here. If you're in the background, just hit that like button. Also, give a comment. I appreciate it. Everything helps the channel. It helps us grow. All right. And also helps others be able to see what's going on. All right. Next, we're gonna talk about our regularly scheduled program, but that was great. That was great information given. Great information given. All right. So let's go and focus on now what we normally do, which is t-shirt apparel designing. That's why you see all this stuff in the background. All right, gonna play it for a little bit. Oh, too early.
Anything we've ever.
Too early. Too early. All right, cool. So this is from Heat Press Nation. Down below is the link in the description. Go check them out. They're really great. Also, I've gotten a lot of stuff from them. Vinyls, all that stuff. They're not paying me to do this. It's just I want to focus on different heat presses they have and what's going on, as far as like the apparel world and how we're moving forward, right? All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, cool. Let's do this.
Produced at Heat Press Nation. Instead of modifying existing designs, we built a new family of machines from the ground up. To businesses looking for quality, reliability, and consistency, TrueSpec is the solution for all your professional heat transfer applications. TrueSpec heat presses are available in either a hybrid or pneumatic opening system. Our hybrid machines close manually, and with a simple flip of the rotating contact plate, can be set to open automatically or manually. This keeps you in full control of the pressing operation. For a fully automatic close and open, we have our pneumatic opening machines. These heat presses are air-powered, with pressure set to your desired PSI and engaged by a dual-button system for safety. Having a fully automatic pressing action greatly reduces operator fatigue and increases consistency across all applications. TrueSpec single-station models are true workhorses, perfect for almost any professional heat press setting. But if you're working with high volume and tight margins, you'll want maximum output from your press operator. And that's why TrueSpec...
Listen, those are some nice heat presses. I gotta roll back again. Let's see that other one with the double Woo. So this is my favorite type of heat press. Sometimes this even comes in four in one. Man, oh, I love it. Wow, that's amazing. Look at that. You can do two at the same time. Two at the same time. That's amazing. Amazing. Wow. Let's press that. Ooh.
Of the pressing operation. For a fully automatic close and open, we have our pneumatic opening machines. These heat presses are air-powered, with pressure set to your desired PSI and engaged. And that's why TrueSpec hybrid and pneumatic opening machines are also available in double-station configurations.
What?
The hybrid double-station press.
Whoa. Hold up. Shots fired. Shots fired. Whoa. Wow, damn. Yo, Heat Press Nation is outdoing themselves. They outdoing themselves. What? I didn't even know they were going like this. Man, let's give them applause.
Has a sliding lower base. The pneumatic double station press has a sliding upper heating element and control panel with automatic station switching at the touch of a button. While an item is being pressed at one station, you can easily load and prepare another item at your second station. And then when your first item is done, you're ready to slide over to the second station where you can press and repeat the process.
I like this one right here. I like that one. That one. No, the other way. That one. I like that one right there. That one is, it looks amazing. I like the heat press portion of it where it goes up and then it comes down, because while it's up, before you press it down, you can just look at it and be like, wait, I forgot something. Fix it up real quick, and then put it back down. The other one, you're sliding it. Yeah, if the sheet flies off, or if you're doing sublimation and the what's that thing called? The tape, the thermal tape comes off, then your sublimation sheet is gonna be flying, and you're gonna have like warp, prints looking weird. So this is the one I would definitely get, right? As you can see behind me, same thing. This is an auto press. Behind me, same thing. Is what it is. All right, cool. Let's go. That one, oh man, applause. I like that one.
Again and again. Downtime is history with a TrueSpec double station heat press. Heat Press Nation developed the TrueSpec line with professional print shops in mind, and we've taken a more is more approach with every aspect of the design, resulting in a beefy, robust build that can take daily use and abuse from any shirt shop. A laser-cut steel frame serves as the foundation for these heavy-duty machines. Other structural components are carefully selected to support loads and stresses greater than what's necessary. Select internal components are UL certified for both safety and durability. And the wow factor goes beyond TrueSpec's impressive look, its quality that you can feel and experience. At the heart of every TrueSpec heat press is its solid core 16 by 20 inch heating element. While bargain elements may be thinner to save on raw materials, we spare no expense when casting our solid aluminum elements. The result is a perfectly flat heating element with superb heat distribution and retention, with minimal recovery time in between presses. TrueSpec machines have an anti-burn shield over the heating element to protect in case of accidental contact, and the baked-in non-stick coating makes cleaning easy. A brand new touchscreen controller was designed for our TrueSpec machines. This new controller displays your time and temperature, and we've added a brand new pre-press timer. There are 3 preset slots where you can customize.
Listen, that pre-press timer is amazing. It lets you know when the press is ready to go, and it gets things. Speaking about that, I gotta turn on my press. Woo. I got an order I gotta finish today. Alright. Let's turn this baby on. Alright, so while that's going, and by the time this show is done, I'm moving on to the next thing. Alright? Alright, let's go.
Your temperature, pre-press timer, and main press timer for your most common applications. On our hybrid open machines, you'll find an active pressure readout. And this provides a real-time indication of pressure on a scale from 0 to 8, with 8 being the max. On pneumatic machines, you'll see an analog pressure gauge next to the screen to let you know the exact PSI of each application. All TrueSpec machines are designed to provide clear access to the lower platens, which makes pressing safer and more efficient. Both of our single-station machines have a slide-out lower platen, with the pneumatic slide-out drawer reaching full extension. The hybrid and pneumatic double-station presses have sliding lower and upper units, respectively, allowing...
Wait, what? Yo, did you see that? Whoa. That is crazy. Wow. Damn. Whoo-wee. I'm looking at my heat press like, wait, I do have some. I got that feature. Automatic heat press with the slide out door. Got it. But damn, that double, oh my gosh. And a slide out door. Ooh-wee. Let's get back to that. Wow, heat press nation is outdoing themselves. Come on. I need to call him and see what's up. Wow. Wow, that is amazing.
Completely unobstructed lower platen access. All lower platens feature a built-in splitter, allowing...
Do you see how far that is? Let me see. Yeah, I got the same thing. Same thing. It stops right here. Same thing. Whoo wee! That was my HTV runt.
you to press one side of your garment at a time. There's also a fast fit mount to accommodate our 5 additional...
Whoa! Whoa! What? 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 Oh my gosh. You guys don't know what I'm seeing here. This is like a semi-automatic. Loaded up. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Damn. Damn, you technician, you outdoing yourself. Come on, let's go. Wow.
interchangeable fast fit platens. These platens give you more options and simplify the process of pressing additional locations like sleeves and neck labels, or even odd items like duffel bags and backpacks. TrueSpec heat presses come with a quality guarantee that is backed by Heat Press Nation's legendary MyExpert support. This includes 1 year of MyExpert protection on the entire machine and a lifetime protection on the heating element. Should you ever have a question or issue...
Alright, check Heat Press Nation. Go to the website that's posted, heatpressnation.com. Check them out. Also, links in the description so you can rewatch this. This is amazing. Amazing. This is, woo! I gotta give you applause, my guy. That was, oh man. That was amazing. Wow. Wow, that was Heat Press Nation. Go check links on the description. Check them out. I'm going to the website. I'm going to that website. Let's go. All right, cool. So pin back to regularly scheduled program. That's how I like to do it. Give you guys news, what's going on. Talk about a little bit of topics I've been wanting to talk about. And then eventually get back to t-shirt designing stuff. And then, we do some shirt designing. All right, cool. All right, so let's put this down. All right, so for today, I had an order come in. I have a couple orders that I got in the background. That's just it's a little fuzzy. Right now, my sublimation printer is down because for some reason it's not printing the way it's supposed to. There's lines, so I'm waiting for the company to call me back and give me a solution to figure out what to do about it. Let's see. All right, so let's show you what I'm doing for today. All right, so before I do that, like and subscribe, guys. It's Levi Apparel, back to ready scheduled program, talking about t-shirts and t-shirt designing. So for today, we got an order that came in. What time is it? 30 on time. Yeah, we got an order that came in. This is from Amazon. So somebody wanted a polo shirt, small polo shirt. Came in, and I'm trying to get it done as fast as I can. Other than that, there's another design I'm supposed to do for somebody. It's a religious one I was supposed to do, but I had to design this on the fly to get it done as fast as possible. And then eventually get that design set and ready to go. Other than that, like I said, the sublimation printer is down a little bit. I'm gonna show you what's happening, right? So yeah, this is a lot better. So when I print, it prints like this. It has lines on it bending. So as you can see, everything else is good, right? Everything else is good, but the lines, that's what's causing me that issue. So I don't know if it's coming from a print head that happens to be that needs to be cleaned, because I barely use that printer, but I'm gonna have to clean it, so because it's unusual. Other than that, just business as usual. So yeah, let's get this artwork going. Let me show you what I'm doing real quick so you can see. Give me a quick second. I'm gonna change the camera so you can see it. Bam. All right, cool. So let's make me a little bit bigger. All right. Better. All right, so this is the design we have right now. We're gonna do vinyl for it. It's glow in the dark vinyl. Okay, cool. Let's first thing we need to do is flip it around. So all I did was I designed the artwork, right? From designing it, I then brought it to Silhouette. That's the software I'm using right now. And then I'm just going over here. I'm gonna flip it horizontally. Is it horizontally? Yeah, it's horizontally. So it has to, hold on, is that mirror? I think that is mirror. Okay, right click. Right, and I wish it just said mirror, but mirror is horizontally, basically. All right, so when you apply it to the shirt, is it? Yeah. Anyways, all right, cool. So let's get it going. All right, next step is this. I'm just gonna send it to the cutter. So where's the send button? Before I do, I want to size it up a little bit, make it a little bit smaller. There we go, right about here. Bam. All right, right there. So let's send it to the cutter. Hopefully this don't take too long. All right. Okay, so now it's in the cutter, right? Let me move myself to the side. Give me a quick second. Show you what I'm doing. All right. Oh, my bad. Bam. There we go. All right. So now, what I like to do is I like to click on the image, right? Okay, from here, use all lines. Right, I like to wrap around it. All right, either way. Okay, now I like to turn this up a little bit so I can have a clean, easy cut. And then let's bring the speed up a little bit, just a little bit. All right, and then send. It's gonna tell me how long it's gonna take. It's gonna be a little noisy. All right, right here it tells you how long. It's gonna take about 1 minute, 57 sec. Oh, sorry. It's gonna take about 51 minutes. Seconds, 51 seconds. All right, and yeah. So all this changed because I don't remember my interface looking like this. It must have updated, right? Okay, cool. So what is making that noise right here? That's the vinyl cutter that's cutting out the image. It should be super quick once it cuts it out. Yeah, once it cuts it out, we're just gonna focus. My bad. Yeah, once it cuts it out, we're gonna focus on removing the vinyl, and then from there, it's gonna be oh, it's done. Oh dang. Okay. So, all right. So now we're just going through the weeding process, and let me pin back up to me, because we're done with this. Give me a quick second. Cool. All right. So, all right. So we got everything cut out, right? Next, we're just gonna remove it. But before we do the removal, let's first cut this out a little bit. Get the tape out. Is the heat press ready? Yep, the heat press is ready to go. Okay, cool. Right. So we're gonna cut this out. Only use what we need, and then the rest is just gonna So normally I focus on using my direct to film printer, but in some rare cases, right? I'm trying to use all of this because this is glow in the dark. So let me show you. Let me show you. No, can you see it? There's too much light in here. Give me a second. All right. Yeah, still too much light. Is it the... Wait. Yeah, anyways, it's supposed to glow. It doesn't glow. Yeah, it's supposed to glow in the dark, so alright, so what we're gonna do is this, right? Let me get some more out because I hate wasting vinyl. What time is it? It is 1:44. 1:44. Alright, this is what happens. Let's use our weeding tool. So all the weeding tool does is it removes the excess vinyl, and this is how it looks like. So this is the same material that's on everybody's jersey. This is called vinyl, t-shirt vinyl. And when you cut it out with the vinyl cutter, what you get is something like this. Now, this has a special thing about it. Right, there it is, Garcia. Okay. Where is it? Cool. This is the shirt. Let's throw the shirt in there. Okay. I'm gonna have to pull this out, weed it in. set. Okay, there it is. Alright, and then we're gonna put Garcia right here. It's gotta be. Let me bring this up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, much better. A little bit that way. Alright, cool. So, alright, so we got the shirt threaded in, right? Shirt's threaded in. We got the vinyl. Okay. Next, we're gonna measure the space of the distance of the vinyl. Usually I do 3 fingers. Right? You want to make it as straight as you possibly can. Okay. Then this side looks like. Right? That side looks like. Shoulder to shoulder. So let's see if we can adjust it a little bit. Like too much on that side, too much on this side. There we go. And we got 5 fingers in. Alright, cool. Let's throw this baby in. And we're gonna heat press it. That's the back. Wait for a couple seconds. What time is it? It is 48. 48. This is the excess. Right. See what's going on. Bam. I gotta show it to you. You gotta see this. You gotta see this. Bam. There it is right there. Bam. 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 See it? See it? Let me put this higher. There we go. There we go. Alright, so pull it back. Then, since it's cooled enough, I'm gonna peel it. There you go. That's the film. This is called Mylar film. Okay, this is the shirt. Let me do a second press and it should be good to go. And then after that, I gotta run. Again, the heat press. It is in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, 1. Bam. There we go. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Let me give myself an applause. Woo! Right now we're gonna remove it. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. Okay, this is the front. He only wanted it on the back, and that's the back. Alright, so there we go. There we go. Garcia. Alright, bam. Done. Fold this, put it away, and that's it. That's it. Like, subscribe. Levi Apparel. Appreciate you. Appreciate appreciate you a lot. If you want shirts, check out the website, leviapparel.com. Or just come back here and let me know what you want. And that's it. We all done. Whenever you... Alright, whenever we're using a heat press, always remember to turn off your heat press. Next, always remember to cut your heat press. I mean, not cut. What's the word? Unplug your heat press. No matter if it has like one of those auto close, you want to make sure you don't leave it on because heat press drains a lot of electricity. So last thing you want is for the auto close to pause and don't take too long. Take too long to close, then you have your electricity being juiced out, and now you pay more money. All right, cool. So there we go. This is the shirt. It's all done. It's all done. Bam. It's all done. We're gonna get it shipped, and we should be good to go. All right, cool. Like, subscribe. We out. Woo! Peace.